Have you ever stood up from a chair, felt that sharp protest in your knees, and thought, I guess this is just how it is now? If arthritis has been riding shotgun in your life, you know it's not just the pain. It's the way it slows you down, makes mornings stiff, steals little joys like kneeling to play with a grandchild, or taking a long walk on a sunny day. And while many of us have a medicine cabinet that looks like a mini pharmacy, there's a quieter, more everyday way to help your body feel better. One that starts in the kitchen, not the clinic. Today, we're talking about simple periods. Affordable plant-based proteins that can help soothe inflammation and support your joints, so you can move with a little more ease and a lot more confidence. Here's the heart of it. What you eat can turn down the volume on inflammation. That doesn't mean you have to overhaul your entire diet overnight or live on salads and green juice. It means adding a few strategic foods. Foods that give your muscles the support they need, feed your joints the nutrients they're missing, and help calm the internal fire that makes everything ache. We're going to focus on 3 pantry-friendly proteins you can find at any grocery store. They're humble, they're versatile, and when you use them consistently, they can help you feel more like yourself again. Let's begin with a little powerhouse that rarely gets the spotlight. Lentils. If lentils had a personality, they'd be that dependable friend who shows up early, rolls up their sleeves, and quietly gets everything done. They won't win a beauty contest on social media. But once you invite them into your kitchen, you'll wonder how you went so long without them. Lentils offer steady protein without the baggage that can come with some meats. When your muscles are well fed, they stabilize the joints. Think of strong muscles as shock absorbers, so every step, bend, and twist feels more supported. That support matters more as we get older, because muscle naturally declines with age unless we feed and use it. Beyond protein, lentils are rich in magnesium, a mineral that acts like a gentle relax button for the body. If you've ever felt that tight, gripping sensation around sore joints, magnesium helps ease that tension. Many older adults don't get enough, which is a shame because it's one of the simplest ways to help your body feel less clenched and more cooperative. Lentils also bring potassium to the table, which helps your body balance fluids. If your rings feel tighter or your knees look puffy by evening, extra sodium may be hanging onto water where you don't want it. Potassium helps usher that excess out, so swelling has less of a chance to stick around and cause discomfort. There's another quiet gift in lentils: fiber. Not the glamorous kind of nutrition you see splashed on magazine covers, but the kind that keeps your blood sugar steadier and your gut happier. When blood sugar spikes, inflammatory signals rise with it. When blood sugar is steadier, those signals quiet down. A bowl of lentil soup or a scoop of lentils in your salad can help keep the day on an even keel, which your joints will appreciate more than you might expect. And tucked inside those little discs is folate, vitamin B9, which helps keep certain compounds in your blood in a better range. The kind of behind-the-scenes housekeeping that supports calmer joints over time. Now, none of that matters if lentils feel like a chore to cook. Good news. They're the opposite. Unlike many beans, they don't need soaking. Rinse, simmer in water or broth, and in about 20 to 30 minutes, you have a blank canvas for flavor. If you like simple, try a warm bowl with olive oil, lemon, and a pinch of salt. If you enjoy bolder tastes, sauté onions, carrots, and garlic in a pan, stir in cumin and paprika, add lentils and broth, and let it all mingle until tender. Fold cooked lentils into a salad with chopped cucumbers and tomatoes for something cool and fresh. Or swap half the ground meat in tacos for seasoned lentils to lighten the meal while keeping it satisfying. They take on whatever personality you give them. Herby, smoky, spicy, so you decide the mood. Here's a small, practical habit that makes a big difference. Cook a batch once and use it 3 ways. On day 1, make a simple lentil soup. On day 2, spoon leftover lentils over brown rice with sautéed greens and a squeeze of lemon. On day 3, mash them lightly with diced onion and a dab of mustard. Then pan-sear little patties for a quick burger night. You get variety, comfort, and steady joint-friendly nutrition without starting from scratch each time. If you're watching your budget, lentils are a gift. They deliver a lot of nourishment for very little money. Let's slide into another everyday gem that deserves more credit than it gets. Chickpeas. You might know them as the creamy base of hummus, or the little beige pearls hiding in a salad. But they're also a reliable way to feed your muscles, calm the chaos of inflammation, and stay satisfied between meals. Chickpeas bring sturdy plant protein that helps you maintain the muscle you have and rebuild what time is chipped away. When your muscles are stronger, your knees and hips don't have to carry the whole load, which means less pressure, less grinding, and less of that "I'm moving through wet cement" feeling. One of the reasons chickpeas show up so often in feel-better meals is their fiber. This isn't just about digestion. It's about keeping your body's chemistry friendlier to your joints. Fiber slows the rush of sugar into the bloodstream, and a steadier blood sugar rhythm helps keep inflammatory messengers in check. If you've ever noticed you feel stiffer after a sweet breakfast or a refined carb lunch, replacing some of those choices with a chickpea-rich meal can help you feel more even, more mobile, and less achy as the day goes on. Chickpeas also carry antioxidant compounds, plant defenders that become your defenders. Think of them as little shields for your cells, reducing the wear and tear that can fan the flames of inflammation. That antioxidant support doesn't shout. It hums along in the background, especially when you eat chickpeas regularly, rather than once in a blue moon. Add in their minerals, like magnesium for ease and calm, and iron to help you keep energy up. And you've got a food that quietly covers a lot of bases for older bodies working hard to stay active. If the kitchen feels intimidating, chickpeas make things easier. You can start with a can. Just give them a good rinse under running water to wash away extra sodium. From there, the possibilities are almost endless. For a quick snack, toss drained chickpeas with a splash of olive oil and a pinch of salt, and roast them until crisp. They scratch that "I want something crunchy" itch without the joint-angering additives many packaged snacks carry. For lunch, scoop hummus onto a plate, add sliced cucumbers, cherry tomatoes, olives, and warm pita, and you have a Mediterranean-style spread that leaves you satisfied and light. For dinner, stir chickpeas into a skillet with garlic, spinach, and a squeeze of lemon. Or let them simmer in a tomato-based sauce with a dusting of turmeric, which brings its own gentle anti-inflammatory touch. Here's a trick that helps your joints twice over. Pair chickpeas with vitamin C-rich foods at the same meal. A handful of bell peppers in your salad, a side of citrus wedges, or a spoonful of fresh salsa can help your body use plant-based nutrients more efficiently. And vitamin C supports the tissues that cushion your joints. It's a small tweak that adds up, and it tastes bright and fresh. If you're cooking dry chickpeas, soak them overnight with a pinch of baking soda, drain, and simmer until tender. The texture turns silky, and they're ready for soups, stews, and homemade hummus that you can season exactly the way you like. For anyone managing weight as part of their arthritis plan, and that's many of us, chickpeas are especially helpful. They keep you full, which makes it easier to choose portions that are kind to your joints. Maintaining or gently improving your weight isn't about perfection. It's about 100 small decisions that feel doable. Swapping in a chickpea bowl with roasted vegetables and a drizzle of tahini for a heavier, greasier takeout meal is one of those decisions. You still get comfort and satisfaction. You just don't pay for it with a stiff back and swollen fingers later. None of this is meant to replace the advice of your doctor or the medications that keep you functioning day to day. Think of lentils and chickpeas as partners in your care. Steady, affordable support that complements what you're already doing. If you have specific concerns like blood pressure or kidney issues, A quick chat with your healthcare provider about portions and preparation can tailor these foods to your needs. Most people find they fit beautifully into the week without fuss. What matters most is consistency. A single bowl of soup won't change everything, but a pattern of joint-friendly meals will. The rhythm you build. Simmering a pot on Sunday, tossing leftovers into Monday's lunch, trying a new seasoning on Tuesday. Becomes a gentle current that carries you toward less stiffness, fewer flare-ups, and more days where you catch yourself thinking, "Hey, that felt easier." And when the day gets busy, give yourself permission to keep it simple. A can of chickpeas, a bag of salad greens, a lemon, and a bottle of olive oil can turn into dinner in 5 minutes. A cup of quick-cooking lentils, some broth, and a spoonful of tomato paste can become a cozy bowl while you set the table. You don't need fancy tools or chef-level skills. You just need ingredients that work with your body instead of against it. As you start to notice the small wins, getting up from the couch without bracing, walking a little farther before the ache nudges you, waking with fewer rusty hinge mornings, it becomes easier to keep going. Food can't erase years of wear, but it can soften the edges, lighten the load, and give you back moments that pain tried to steal. Those moments are worth cooking for. There's one more everyday protein I love introducing to people because it surprises them with how versatile and joint-friendly it can be, especially when you learn a couple of flavor-boosting tricks. When you're ready to keep building this gentle momentum, it's the next natural step. That next step is the one that surprises people, mostly because they've met it once, or twice in a bland stir-fry and decided it wasn't for them. I'm talking about tofu. Stay with me here, because once you know how to handle it, tofu becomes one of the easiest, most joint-friendly proteins you can keep in the fridge. It's made from soybeans, and unlike most plant foods, it carries the full set of building blocks your body uses to repair tissue. That matters when your knees click, your hips complain, and your shoulders negotiate every reach into the top cupboard. Strong, well-fed muscles take pressure off your joints. When the scaffolding is sturdy, the whole structure feels safer to move. If you've only tasted tofu once, maybe it was soft and watery and you thought, "No thanks." That's not tofu's fault. It's a technique thing. Think of tofu like a sponge that's waiting to soak up whatever flavor you introduce. With a little prep, it turns from forgettable to, "Oh, that's good. What is it?" Start with extra firm or firm tofu for most meals. Drain the block, wrap it in a clean towel, and press it under a skillet or a couple of books for 15 minutes while you chop some vegetables. You'll see moisture wick out. That's good. You're making space for flavor. Cut it into cubes or slices, whisk a quick marinade, maybe a splash of low-sodium soy sauce, a little olive oil, grated garlic, a squeeze of lemon, and a pinch of black pepper. And let the tofu sit while you heat a pan. When it hits the skillet, it will sizzle, turn golden at the edges, and take on that savory, satisfying bite that makes you forget you ever doubted it. Flavor is only half the story. Tofu brings gentle anti-inflammatory support to the table in a few ways that your joints will recognize over time. Many brands are set with calcium, which means every serving quietly contributes to the bone strength that keeps your frame stable. Some are fortified with vitamin D, the partner nutrient your body uses to actually absorb that calcium and keep it where it belongs. That duet is valuable as we age, when bones need more attention and sunshine might not always be available. On top of that, soy contains compounds that help your body dial back some of the noise around inflammation, the kind that makes mornings feel rusty and evenings feel puffy. It's not a magic trick, and it won't erase arthritis, but used steadily, it becomes part of the way your body maintains a calmer baseline. If you're avoiding seafood or just don't eat it often, tofu also gives you a path toward those joint-friendly fats you hear about. Paired with a drizzle of olive oil and tossed with greens or vegetables, You're layering in the kinds of nutrients that tend to play nicely with achy joints rather than poking the bear. And because tofu is naturally lower in saturated fat than many animal proteins, you get nourishment without adding to the internal friction that can make inflammation louder. Now, let's make this usable on a Tuesday at 6 p.m. when your hands are stiff and you don't want to stand for long. Open the fridge and picture 3 quick routes. The first is a sheet pan supper. Cubes of pressed tofu, a tumble of broccoli or green beans, a handful of cherry tomatoes. Drizzle with olive oil, a spoon of mustard, a little honey if you like, and a shake of garlic powder. Roast until the edges crisp and the vegetables slump just a bit. Slide it all into a bowl over cooked quinoa or brown rice that you prepared on the weekend. Dinner is ready with 1 pan to clean. The second route is a skillet stir-up. Onions and peppers softened in the pan, tofu added to brown, then a handful of spinach to wilt and a splash of lemon to wake it up. Spoon over whole grain toast for a hearty tofu scramble that eats like comfort food without the heaviness. The third route is the blender. Silken tofu whirled into a quick, creamy sauce with lemon, dill, and a spoon of yogurt, poured over warm potatoes and peas for a light, comforting bowl that feels like a hug. If you're worried about taste, remember that tofu takes on whatever personality you give it. Love smoky flavors? Dust it with paprika and a pinch of cumin before roasting. Prefer bright and fresh? Lemon zest and herbs do the trick. Want something cozy? A spoonful of tomato paste and a splash of broth make a quick pan sauce that clings to each piece. The goal isn't perfection. It's a meal that feels friendly to your joints and comforting to your senses. Some folks have questions about soy. If you've heard mixed messages over the years, you're not alone. What most people find is that moderate amounts of traditional soy foods, like tofu, tempeh, or edamame, fit well into a balanced week and help them feel satisfied without increasing joint grumbling. If you have a thyroid condition or a specific medical concern, it's always wise to check with your healthcare provider about timing and portions, the same way you would with any new addition to your routine. For many older adults, keeping soy in the realm of often not only works beautifully. It becomes a regular guest at the table, not the entire menu. Let's talk texture because mouthfeel matters when chewing is tender or dentures make certain foods less enjoyable. If crunch is hard on you right now, silken tofu can be your best friend. Blend it into soups to add body without cream. Stir it into smoothies with berries and a spoon of peanut butter for a breakfast that keeps you full and steady until lunch. If you do like a little bite, extra firm tofu gets delightfully crisp in an air fryer or a hot oven with hardly any hands-on time. You can even make small tofu croutons to sprinkle over a salad, adding protein to a bowl of greens so it actually holds you through the afternoon. One smart move for arthritic hands is to create a short list of pantry staples that turn any of these proteins into dinner, without fine chopping or long simmering. A bottle of extra virgin olive oil, a jar of minced garlic, lemon juice, low-sodium soy sauce, a tin of tomato paste, and a couple of spice blends. Maybe an Italian blend and a mild curry powder will carry you far. Keep pre-washed greens in the fridge, frozen vegetables in the freezer, and a carton of tofu on the shelf right where you'll see it. The easier you make the decision at 5 o'clock, the more likely you are to choose the option that's kind to your joints. If beans and lentils sometimes make your belly talk back, a little kitchen wisdom helps. Rinse canned legumes thoroughly under running water. Start with small portions, half a cup, and let your body adjust over a couple of weeks. Add a pinch of cumin, ginger, or fennel to the pot. Those flavors don't just taste good, they can help your digestion play along. With tofu, that's less of an issue, which is another reason it's helpful on days when your stomach is feeling particular. There's also a satisfying rhythm in pairing these proteins with other simple anti-inflammatory ingredients. A splash of lemon over lentils, a shake of turmeric into a tomato chickpea skillet, a handful of dark leafy greens tossed with warm tofu, The combinations are endless, and they all nudge your body toward a calmer state. Think in colors when you build a plate. Earthy browns from grains, deep greens from vegetables, bright reds or oranges from peppers or squash, soft whites from tofu. A colorful plate isn't just pretty. It's a visual cue that you're covering more bases for your joints. Budget matters, and so does energy. You can make a week of joint-friendly meals without spending much or standing long. Pick one day to cook a pot of lentils and a tray of roasted tofu, then set yourself up for easy wins. Spoon lentils into a container in the fridge and freeze a second batch in small portions so future you has a shortcut ready. Roast 2 blocks of tofu at once. One becomes dinner tonight, the other slides into tomorrow's salad or wraps. Put a sticky note on the fridge that says, period. Add lemon. Add greens. Tiny reminders can be surprisingly powerful on tired days. What you'll likely notice first isn't dramatic. It's small margins. An easier time getting up from the couch, a longer stretch before your hands ask for a break, a walk that ends with, "I could have gone a little farther." Those margins are where life opens back up. Food alone won't do everything, but it's a tool you hold in your own hands 3 times a day. And that means you get 3 chances to help yourself feel a little better every single day. If you've been carrying the quiet fear that this is as good as it gets, take a breath and give yourself permission to experiment. Keep what works, let go of what doesn't, and trust that consistency beats intensity. 1 bowl of lentil soup, 1 chickpea lunch, 1 tray of golden tofu. These are small votes you cast for your future comfort. The more of those votes you collect, the more your body starts to lean in that direction. You don't need complicated recipes or specialty ingredients to make this real. You need a short grocery list you can remember without writing it down, a couple of simple cooking moves you can do on autopilot, and the belief that your body is still responsive and worth caring for. That belief grows each time a meal leaves you feeling lighter instead of weighed down. Each time a choice after dinner means you sleep a little more deeply and wake a little less stiff. And once you feel that momentum, those steady, doable meals that taste good and treat your joints kindly, it becomes natural to weave them into the flow of your week without thinking too hard about it. From there, it's just a matter of shaping a simple routine you can reach for on busy days and sore days alike, the kind that lets you live your life with more ease and more, "yes, I can." Once that "yes, I can" feeling starts to show up in small moments, the path forward gets clearer. The kitchen becomes less of a chore and more of a quiet workshop where you build comfort, one easy meal at a time. It helps to picture a typical day and place these joint-friendly proteins in natural spots. Morning might be something light but steady, like a slice of whole grain toast spread with hummus and topped with tomato and cucumber, or a smoothie blended silky with a little tofu for staying power. Midday can be your lentil moment. Maybe a warm bowl with a squeeze of lemon and a handful of baby spinach stirred in until it softens. Dinner can be the sheet pan you barely have to think about. Golden tofu bites with vegetables you love, slid over a small scoop of brown rice. Nothing fancy, nothing fussy, just meals that leave you feeling a little looser in your shoulders and a little softer in your hands. Routines keep your joints happier than spur-of-the-moment plans, so set yourself up with simple anchors. Pick one day to cook a pot of lentils and chill it in the fridge, where it's ready to be scooped into soups, salads, or quick sautés. Keep a couple of cans of chickpeas in the pantry for instant comfort on nights when energy runs thin. Tuck a block of extra firm tofu into the fridge each week so you can press it while the oven heats and roast it alongside whatever vegetables are on hand. When these ingredients are there, visible and ready, the decision to treat your body kindly becomes the easy choice, not the hard one. Comfort isn't just physical, it's emotional too. Arthritis can chip away at your confidence, especially on days when opening a jar or climbing the porch steps feels like a negotiation. Food won't fix everything, But there's a quiet confidence that comes from doing a few small things well. Stirring a pot, seasoning to taste, serving yourself a meal that you know will go down easy and help you move a little more freely tomorrow. Each time you follow through, you remind yourself that your body still responds, still adapts, still wants to feel better. You might worry that changing how you eat means giving up the flavors you love. It doesn't. These proteins are flavor carriers, not flavor killers. Lentils bloom with a splash of olive oil and lemon, chickpeas sing when they meet garlic and herbs, and tofu soaks up any personality you give it. Smoky, citrusy, cozy, or bright. If you're used to richer meals, think addition, not subtraction. Keep the warmth and the comfort, just build it on a base that treats your joints with respect. A creamy sauce can come from silken tofu and a spoonful of yogurt. A hearty bowl can be built on lentils with caramelized onions and a few olives. The pleasure stays. The aftermath feels lighter. Digestion matters when you're introducing more legumes. If your stomach needs time to adjust, give it that grace. Rinse canned beans well, start with smaller portions, and season with spices that help your belly relax, like ginger or cumin. Enjoy a short walk after meals if you can. Gentle movement helps everything settle. Hydration is your friend here too. A glass of water with lemon at your elbow during prep and a warm cup of tea after dinner can make both your joints and your digestion feel more cooperative. Because many of us juggle medications, it's wise to keep your doctor looped in. If you're on a specific plan for blood pressure, kidney health, thyroid, or anything else, a quick conversation about portions and sodium is a smart step. Most people find these foods fit beautifully into their week and pair well with the movement, sleep, and stress-soothing habits that also calm inflammation. Think of everything working together. The nourishing meals, the short daily stretch, the earlier bedtime, the sunlight on your face in the morning. Each piece is a small lever. Together, they move more than you'd expect. You don't need to chase perfect. What you need is a repeatable rhythm you can keep on the tired days and the busy days, as well as the good ones. When you're not up for chopping, buy pre-washed greens and pre-cut vegetables. When your hands are tender, choose a jar of minced garlic instead of the fresh bulb. When you're short on time, lean on the microwave for reheating and the oven for hands-off cooking. Ease is not cheating. It's how consistency survives real life. If cooking for one feels lonely, turn it into a small ritual that honors your effort. Set out a real plate, put a napkin on the table, play a favorite song while you eat. If you share meals with a partner or friend, invite them into the process. One person presses tofu while the other tosses together a quick salad. Add a moment of gratitude before the first bite. Not just for the food, but for your body doing its best and for your choice to support it. That simple pause can change the way the meal lands in your mind and your joints. It's natural to hope for big changes, but the real magic shows up in the steady, almost unremarkable improvements that collect over weeks. A night with fewer wake-ups. A walk that ends with more ease than it began. A morning when your fingers close around the mug without that familiar sting. These are not accidents. They're the echoes of your choices. Keep going, and you'll build a new normal where pain doesn't call all the shots. As you settle into this gentler way of eating, stay curious. Try a new herb, a different grain, a fresh way to season what you already enjoy. Pay attention to how you feel after meals and the next morning. If a certain combination leaves you lighter, write it down or snap a quick photo so you can repeat it. If something doesn't agree with you, no judgment. Adjust and move on. Your body will teach you what it likes when you listen with patience. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. Share your favorite lentil soup tweaks, your best hummus add-ins, your crispiest tofu tricks with our community. Tell us what's working and where you're stuck. Your story may be the one that helps someone else make their first pot of lentils or give tofu another chance. Drop your thoughts and experiences in the comments so we can cheer you on and learn from you. If this conversation has encouraged you, If you felt seen or found an idea you're ready to try tonight, tap the like button. It helps more seniors find practical, hopeful guidance that respects their time and their bodies. And if you want more simple, step-by-step support for staying strong, steady, and independent, subscribe to Strong Elderly Life and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. We're here to walk with you. One doable meal, one gentle stretch, one confidence-building choice at a time. Here's to the small bowls of comfort that make big differences, to joints that feel a little kinder as the weeks go by, and to the steady belief that your best days aren't behind you. They're in the meals you're about to cook, the paths you're about to walk, and the strength you're still building. May your kitchen be a place of relief and your table a place of hope.